to my place again. I've got something. I've got this right here. Wonder what's in there. Well, right now, it's just an empty pie shell. So we need to make something go in it. So, what have I got? I've got brown sugar and I've got butter. So when you put brown sugar and butter together, you end up with a butterscotch pie. So we're going to make a butterscotch pie to go in our pretty little pie shell. I've got my recipe here, and you know me, I'm kind of old and scatterbrained, so I have to read it. So what we're going to do first is let's put our cup of brown sugar in our pot. We're going to put a third of a cup of flour and salt. Here, just a dash of salt. And let's just whisk that up. How do you like my black pot? I went and dug it out of storage, because black cast on, because I just don't have no pot to go on this induction burner. I've got pretty pots too, nice pots, but they just all don't work on here. We're just going to mix that up a little bit. And we're going to gradually add our milk. And I've got 2 cups of milk here that I scalded because the recipe said to scald it. Add it in there. Now, I'm going to turn on our induction burner now. And I'm going to stir. Got a few lumps in my brown sugar, so I'm going to kind of work them out. Doggy barking. Let me let that doggy in. Come on, come on. Let's go outside. Let me let him outside. Come on, go outside. Go. I'm back. That's a little old dog. He's blind and can't hear, can't see. He's kind of pitiful. He's a little old Yorkie poo. And he's no bigger than nothing, and he's just kind of pitiful. I think I'm gonna whisk it a little bit. Can you see behind me my pretty Mother's Day gift? I put it there. I'm gonna hang it out on the porch, but I just wanted to show it to you. Come from my dear husband. He brought it in to me yesterday. But he's all the time teasing me though around Mother's Day. He says, "Well, I'm not your mother," and he's not, but I'm the mother to his children. I told you we've been married almost 42 years. That's a long time to be with him. Did I tell you that well, I did tell you that we cleaned him up the other day. In the wintertime, when he has to hay the cows, it's cold out when he has to do chores, so he always grows this big, full whiskers and stuff. And then he always says, every year, he says, "Well, when we plant tomatoes, I'll shave it off." Well, we got the tomatoes planted, and so we cleaned him up yesterday. He trimmed his beard, I cut his hair, went outside on the porch to do it, so I wouldn't have all that hairy mess in my house. It's getting hot, starting to get thick. And I'm stirring it because I don't want it to get lumpy. You can see the steam coming off of it, so it's cooking. It's not going to take long at all to make this butterscotch pie. And I'm going to take it up to a little church fundraiser. I've got some more I need to get made, but this one I'm working on right now. It's starting to get thicker, not thick, but thicker. So, since it's starting to get thick, got these eggs. The recipe called for 3 eggs. Oh, that pot's heavy. And I'm going to pour a little bit into those eggs and whisk it up. I'll pour a little bit more. Let's stir that. Stir, 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 Rita. Now, I'm gonna put that back into that pot. I'm gonna turn that down. It's getting too hot. Now, I'm gonna stir this up and whisk that up. Keep it from getting lumpy. Twist it too. Jack, you're gonna have to wait. Can't let you in yet. I got those lumps out of it. I worked it. I've got it where I think when it sets up it won't be one of those everlasting pies. I'm going to turn that off. Let's see. And I've got 3 tablespoons of butter and vanilla in this bowl. I'm going to pour that, put that in there. Stir that till that butter melts. I love butterscotch. My husband's not real fond of it. Oh, he'll eat it. That man's picky. But as soon as that butter melts, we'll pour it into our pie shell. And then I've got egg whites, so we'll make a meringue to go on it. So it'll be a butterscotch meringue pie. I still see a lump of butter. Now, all that butter, now that butter's gone. I don't see it anymore. So, we'll move that over here, pie shell, and we're going to pour it in there. There we go. I'm dribbling, making a mess. More of it. Now I'm not gonna, when this pie gets done, I'm not gonna cut it because it's, like I said, it's going to a fundraiser. But we'll take a test of this. I'll lick a little bit off that spoon to see if that filling tastes good. Does that work for you guys? If it's hot. One more bite, see if it's good. It's good. I just don't want it to go to waste, so I just lick a little bit more off the spoon. It is good. One more bite. I'm going to turn you off while I get set up to finish this meringue. Then I'll be back. Well, I picked up some of that mess, and now we're going to take this bowl and we're going to make our meringue for our butterscotch pie. So I've got the egg whites here. I'm going to put them and just a dash of salt. And I want to do them for the foamy. Now we're going to add about 6-7 tablespoons of sugar. if I can do one, that ought to work. Now, we're going to put it on the pie. This was the mate to the one that broke the other day. And I'm not, this meringue's not going to be real tall because if I get it too big, I can't put the pie in this little box. So it's just going to be average. Did y'all ever hear meringue called calf slobbers? Isn't that an awful name for it? Have you ever seen a calf that was sucking its mama or sucking a bottle and it foam up around its mouth? That's the reason they call it calf slobbers, because that's kind of what it looks like. We're going to put it all the way to the edges. I've got my oven preheated to 350, and so we'll pop this in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes and let it brown. Let's make some. All right, I'm going to put that in the oven. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Well, there you go, friends. Would you try my old-fashioned butterscotch meringue pie? I bet you would. But come to the fundraiser tonight. Maybe you just have to get my pie. That's it. That's old-fashioned butterscotch meringue pie from the vintage Farm Journal cookbook. It was the recipe in here that I used. I have another butterscotch recipe, but I used the one in this book today. I like vintage recipes. I really do. Anyway, I'm off here. There's our pie, ready to cool and towed off to the pie auction tonight. Love y'all.